Why are these Bleach chapters so damn short? Why do they go by so fast? I ain't gonna lie, I was digging the living shit out of that Bach versus Ichibei fight. I was like, matter of fact, a lot of this chapter I was digging, I ain't gonna lie. Some interesting surprises, and overall it was just a really fun and interesting chapter. Let's go. So the start of the chapter, you got Ichibei talking down to Bach. I tell you, you're old, you proved me wrong with your mischievous ways. He was just talking to him like a child. And in all honesty, my biggest thing in my mind every time I hear, and a lot of this chapter made me think as well, I think Bach was some sort of royal kid at this palace or something. And that's why he talks to him like that. He says, you're old, you've grown old, but you show me you still haven't changed. You're in your mischievous ways. A lot of the way they talk and everything just seems as though they're very familiar with each other. There was something about Bach that he was there at some given point and they know each other, and just a lot of this, I don't know, it just makes me feel as though maybe Bach was the Soul King's son or supposed to be the successor or something to the Soul King. I mean, we know a little bit about his backstory, about how he was like this little holy baby or whatever, but this chapter, I mean, the way he was talking to him is as almost he's so disappointed and disgusted with him that he's happy to take him out. It's been a while since we've seen Hiyori and some of the visors, the other visors that, you know, didn't stay in Soul Society or whatever. And it was just real fun seeing Hiyori's, like, you know, fucking bitch personality again. I gotta lie, it was a nice little refreshing break from all the fighting and chaos that's been going on. And it had a little bit of interesting build-up and kind of made me wonder a little bit about Urahara when she was questioning him as well. Weren't we all supposed to go together? Why did you let them go ahead? What do you think, it's okay to let them go ahead? As long as they slow down the enemy, you're fine with them dying. So first of all, it makes you wonder a little bit about Urahara. We've always had a little bit, just a tiny inkling of suspicion about this guy and what is his ultimate motives and what is his purpose for that matter with a lot of different things. I mean, to this day, we still don't know why the fuck was he so goddamn strong. Back in the day in the Turn Back the Pendulum arc, we knew he was very strong, and there's always been a little bit of mystique to him, and when she said something like that, and you know, just it got interrupted, I was thinking to myself, what is his explanation for that? I mean, couldn't he have waited a couple extra minutes for them, or was it that much of a rush that they needed to go because of Uryu, or was it because he understood Ichigo's emotions at that particular point? Made me wonder, why didn't he wait the extra bit of time for Hiyori and them to arrive? Okay, I love her already. I don't know, it's the look and the little funny, quirky personality, a little worrisome personality. Yoruichi's sister. Was she ever mentioned? I don't even care if she was, but just out of curiosity, was she ever really mentioned up till this point, or was she just shoehorned in at this point? I don't know, but I like her. I mean, it seems a little bit random, her coming out of nowhere. It's like, oh, I came to bring stuff for my sister and she's already gone. But I don't know, it just seems kind of random for her to be here right now, and I'm kind of confused why Kubo brought her in, but hey, Yushido for the win! Another thing that made me interested is, I noticed Kubo has been very vague and very mysterious with a lot of different things and way characters talk and everything. When Urahara said, I had to let her go for the court, he already said, I hate when you say that, for the court. Now, we know that in the past, Hiyori and, you know, the council or whatever, and Soul Society for that matter, have had some quarrels, and ultimately she probably still don't forgive them for what they did to her, so maybe that's why she's referring to it like that. But it could be something else. Maybe it's just that she feels as though it's never the right thing to do it for the court or whatever. Maybe something more to it, or maybe it was just her bitchy personality saying shut the fuck up, basically. And another thing that goes back to my theory and kind of supports it as well is Bach was like, Ichibei, you look happier than I would have thought. Who would have thought that you would be happier when you had to kill me, when you decided to kill me? What would it matter? Why would you think he wouldn't be happy to kill you when you're just this fucking evil bastard? Unless they had huge connections in the past, and you would think, why would you be happy to kill me? You know, I'm supposed to be, you're supposed to have had some sort of affection towards me in one way or another, whether it be comradeship or whatever the case may be. So the fact that he said that line, again, makes me think that there was a huge connection with them. Again, maybe he was Soul King's baby, whatever it may be, but he definitely had huge connections. He talks to them like he knows them, and ultimately something just connects all of them. And I ain't gonna lie, that fight was looking sick. I was just so pissed off that this chapter again went by so quick, because Kubo loves to just do a bunch of drawings and little dialogue so that way the pages go by quick, because I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh, fucking, he shattered his arm in two, basically. He halved his powers in two, in a sense. So he's like half the man right now. And Ichibei just talking that shit like, oh, how does it feel? Half the man, Quincy. I'm like, damn, Ichibei, like, this was a fucking hype-ass chapter. Really awesome fight. making things a lot more of a struggle than most of the other fights and kind of making Bach have to work for it. But then again, it's making me worry if he's struggling against Ichibei, how is he going to be able to defeat the Soul King unless the Soul King really isn't all that strong to begin with, and that's why he has Royal Guards. Maybe the only function that the Soul King has is to keep things going, but he's not actually that strong himself, and Ichibei is the last pillar basically stopping Bach from getting to the Soul King. Maybe the Soul King isn't even a person. Maybe he's just an entity of like energy. I mean, we've seen like a while back, about a year or so, maybe more back, a like image of him or whatever, or a thing or whatever, but we don't know if that's necessarily a person. Maybe it's just a manifestation of, you know, this aura. We don't know anything about the Soul King. For all we know, he can't fight back at all, and Ichibei is the last thing stopping Bach from going, taking his head, and becoming the god of the universe, basically. And the thing that had me wondering is, Bach was like, do I look like I'm suffering at the end? Meaning, what the fuck is going on? If he's supposed to be half powered down right now, is it that Bach has another trick? Does he have another one of the Quincy around him or something that he's going to use? Or is it just that he hasn't been going serious till now because he's been trying to save some of his ammo for later events with, you know, future fights? Either way, I ain't gonna lie, this chapter was hype as shit. Introducing Yhwach's sister. I don't know if she's going to be relevant after this. Was it just for some funny fan service or whatever? But I'm interested to see anything about her at all because she seems a little wimpy and funny, but she just looks like a cool little character. Also, what do you guys think? Do you think that there's something suspicious about Urahara letting them go? Do you think he just did it because that's what Ichigo wanted to do? Or is there somewhere deep down in Urahara a cold heart? And just overall thoughts of the chapter. I ain't gonna lie, even though it went by very quick and it felt very short in a sense, it did have some interesting content to it, and the fight is looking real good, and it's seemingly progressing slowly but surely. So I'm gonna give this one 8 out of 10. I felt it was a very good chapter, and I just overall, above everything, I really enjoyed it and I had a good time with it, and I think for the most part that's one of the things you always got to factor in as well. That's why I'm excited talking about it right now. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that would be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.